Miss Harewood, it seems we are to be seated together.
I hope you can endure my company, since you are so often keen to be rid of me.
I shall have to endure it as stoically as I can.
Fraser teased Allison about the seating arrangement because he already knows that Allison likes Harder, not Fraser. But the positive side of all of this is that Fraser gets the good luck of sitting next to Allison for dinner, and hopefully they will get to know each other a bit better. Hopefully it turned out really good for the two of them. On the other hand, though, Allison teased him back about always getting rid of her so quickly and so easily, and that's kind of like a little early warning sign to Fraser, like, be careful if you run into her again, like, don't make it too obvious that, you trying to get rid of her. And it seemed that she's taking that as a negative reason, like he doesn't like her as a person, or for some interesting reason that she doesn't know yet, but he did it on purpose because he doesn't want to see or hear Allison talking to Harder. He is jealous. He's starting to feel jealous for the new friendship that is forming between Allison and Harder.
Good gracious. What luck.
If you remember the episode, Arthur sneakily went inside the dining room to change the a few seating arrangements, so he put Georgiana next to Lockhart. That's why Georgiana was annoyed. She's like, you gotta be kidding me, like, I cannot be able to escape from this man. And she didn't know that Arthur changed the seating arrangement. I don't think she knew that in that moment, but Arthur, like, acting like he didn't do anything about that, and that he's just like teasing her, using this opportunity to teach her, like, oh hey, like, look, the universe wants you to be with Lockhart. On the other hand, though, Lockhart doesn't feel confident in himself, especially after what happened earlier at that evening event. Arthur tried to hook him up with Georgiana, and Georgiana wasn't having it. So he's stepping into the dinner time with Georgiana next to him, and he's like, what should I say? What should I do? Like, how am I able to prove myself worthy to be her friend and potentially be her future lover? Also, I was thinking of the time that Sydney and Charlotte were sitting next to each other at Lady Denham lunch party, that Lady Denham threw in honor of Miss Lamb, that pineapple moment thing. But it's just so funny, like, how Sydney and Charlotte didn't like each other at first at that lunch party, and now we get to see kind of like a similar situation with Georgiana and Lockhart. Like, they didn't really start off on the right foot with each other.
Is not this repast delicious, Mr. Lockhart?
I thought the lamb was a little tough. Somewhat cold.
If it is so unpalatable, why don't you leave it? I'm sure it would not miss you.
This is really hilarious. They're using the vocabulary of food words to describe her situation between Georgiana and Lockhart. Arthur basically, like, asking in general how the food, how is it going with you two, and Arthur is describing the lamb. And it's really funny though, like, Georgiana, like, her last name is Lamb, Miss Lamb, and he describing her like as a cold person, a cold-hearted person. Like, she not friendly to him, she doesn't open up easily to him, she not interested to talk to him and get to know him. And she's like, why are you, like, pushing it so far? Like, why do you want me to talk to you? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you wasting your time giving so much effort to get my attention when I'm not even giving you the same amount of attention and energy back to you.
I'm waiting for it to surprise me.
Why should it?
Well, I think it's jolly well delightful.
And when Laika said he wanted to be surprised, it reminded me of the conversation that they had in episode 1 when, after the parade, Laika ran into Georgiana and Arthur, and he gave her like a really bad first impression. Like, he really didn't know her, but when he told her, like, you know, she had this like shell around her, and he trying to like investigate like the type of person she is, like what's her story, like her life stories, and how she came to, you know, the town Sanditon, like trying to get to know the story of her life. And now, you know, he's saying at the dinner, like, I want to be surprised. And it just showed that he's still interested in her, and that he wants to like go deeper with her. Like, he's trying to like clear out the gutter and see the true Georgiana. Like, he knows that she's a good person and that she's nice and all, but she's just not portraying that to him.
Shall I ask Captain Carter if we might exchange places?
Forgive me, I do not mean to be rude.
I'm not the least offended. Cannot blame you for seeking his company over mine. He is unforgivably handsome after all.
So that showed that Allison had not keep her eyes off of Carter throughout the dinner. And of course, if Fraser likes Allison too, like, it must bother him. He being a good sport, he becoming this guy that it just doesn't let it bother him. Like, he can be jealous, but he's not gonna let his jealousy affect his reputation, his personality, and not gonna ruin who he really is. Like, he seemed to be a nice guy, and that can be a loyal friend to Allison, even though it sucks seeing her liking Carter instead of Fraser himself. He continued to teach her about Carter and Allison, and it just showed that not only, you know, he wished that she liked Fraser himself, but at the same time he trying to like not show that he likes her too. So he kind of like hiding it by just making jokes and teasing her about how she cannot stop looking at Carter.
Are you mocking me?
I wouldn't dream of it.
Like, it is what it is. So, like, half of him, like, he wanted to be that nice friend to Allison, and maybe he hoped that she would change her mind, and that she would see that Fraser is a good guy to be in a relationship with. But for now, I mean, this is like still early, right? But at the same time, I'm a bit worried though. Like, Allison is falling for this harder guy pretty quickly.
I notice the other ladies are enthralled by the soldiers in our midst, yet you seem quite indifferent.
Takes a good deal more than a red coat and some brass buttons to impress me.
Likewise, I find our island's veneration for the military vaguely repulsive.
Okay, now Laika is starting this very interesting, deep conversation with Georgiana. He is not giving up. I mean, they have to be tortured of sitting next to each other for the entire dinner, right? But what Georgiana said about the army men, it doesn't captivate her. It's more than just the uniform that she's looking for. She's looking for a husband that loves her and that has a great personality that will captivate her heart and her soul. So the uniform, like, even though it looked good on the outside, she's looking for a man that has a good heart, that has a good spirit and soul.
And yet you accepted the Colonel's invitation. Is that not rather hypocritical?
I accepted out of curiosity and boredom. What's your excuse?
When he said Rachel is here, it showed that he was interested and intrigued to listen to what her reason was in accepting the invitation to tonight dinner. This tonight event is a great opportunity for Georgiana to search the market to see if there are any single men within the army, along with, of course, enjoying a free dinner and evening out with friends.
I had little choice. It would have been considered very ill-mannered of me to decline.
You didn't strike me as someone overly concerned with winning the approval of others. I must admit, quite disappointed.
However, she already went on many dates, declined many proposals, and she doesn't want to hear from the Parker and the Hankins, why you didn't go to dinner. It had been a great opportunity to meet more new single men, that one of them would be your future husband. And then Lockhart, why are you doing this to yourself? You forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do. And he gave away another first impression that he came up with about her. I thought you that person that doesn't listen to other people, what they say and think of you. You do your own thing. And he said he was disappointed that, she did something that she didn't want to do, which is going to the dinner, but she didn't want to be rude and decline the invitation. So that shows that Lockhart likes Georgiana's confidence and independent spirit and boldness in doing the thing that she wants to do.
Then it is a good thing your opinion means nothing to me.
What a comeback by Georgiana. She's like, I don't hear what you say or think of me. He liked that. He liked her spiciness, her attitude, the way she barked back at him. Good for her.
I should like to make a toast of my own.
We're gonna transition into this interesting scene. Georgiana, what are you doing? Why are you standing up? And Lockhart wants to say a quick speech. And Arthur is amused by this. He enjoying this presentation of watching his two friends not liking each other and always arguing, having debates with one another.
In 1814, Emperor Napoleon abolished slavery. He was not just a soldier, but a man of vision.
When Lockhart mentioned about the person in his speech, he was a French man, and it reminded me of when after the parade, Lockhart ran into Georgiana and Arthur, and he explained to them he didn't support the army men, why people are so crazy over them and praising them for the hero actions, and he favored the French people, he loved the country of France and the people, and now he giving this speech about this particular Frenchman, and this is from another country, you're not in France, and you're putting this guy on the stage and to showcase him and basically slapping him in the faces, especially Colonel Lennox. So this is not a good idea.
A man who recognized that ideas rule the world, not might alone.
He did mention the word slavery, though. I feel like he did that just to show Georgiana that he supports her and support her political beliefs and who she is. She had this very strong spirit of being against slavery, and she has so many experiences and stories just to support her idea of not supporting slavery. So what Lockhart said in his speech, not only is he rubbing the French in the faces of these army men, he just want to showcase to Georgiana at the same time, hey, I'm all for who you are and what you stand for, and it seemed that he knows that slavery plays a role in her life, and that it seemed that he against slavery, and I think that would be important for Georgiana, especially when she looks for a husband. She wants a husband that support her and her skin color, and that support the slaves, and that they shouldn't be enforced into slavery. That's another important thing that she's looking for in a future husband.
To Napoleon Bonaparte!
What a performance, I would say. Georgiana was definitely in shock. Charlotte was in shock. Arthur was in shock. Everyone was basically in shock.
Ignore him. He's just an artist.
What an embarrassment though. Like when I watched this scene, I'm like, this is not a good idea. Like this is not the time or place to say this. Lady Denham kind of like saved Lockhart's butt. Colonel Lennox, the look on his face, like it looked like he was about to kill him. Like he was so mad. He was like, "Are you kidding me? After I invited you to this dinner, you treated me and my men like that." Also, when Lady Denham said he's just an artist, at the same time, even though she kind of like, held the Colonel, away from fighting Lockhart after what he said, at the same time, Lady Denham was kind of like harsh toward Lockhart, like he's just an artist, so it's kind of like putting him down in front of everyone, like, oh, he doesn't know much, he's just an artist, like he just know drawing pictures, kind of like in a way of telling other people like he doesn't have the knowledge of what is right and wrong in society, especially when it comes to politics. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of an embarrassment again for Lockhart. And he kind of like looked at Georgiana like, see how people view me, like, I'm just an artist, like I don't have a voice, like I'm stupid, like I don't know much other than being an artist. And Georgiana can actually relate to that. I mean, she went through a lot and she learned how to not listen to other people's opinion. And I think Lockhart understands her on that level.
I'm sorry we could not be seated together. You might have saved me from my infuriating dinner companion.
He certainly caused quite a scandal. Did I notice you smile?
Certainly not. It was a grimace.
Of course, she rather sit with Charlotte at the dinner table. Charlotte enjoyed that presentation by Lockhart. At the same time, she had like some smiles coming off from Georgiana. She knows as a friend that Lockhart intrigued Georgiana, but she doesn't want to admit that. Like she doesn't want to give in easily. After Lockhart's presentation, I think it deepens some interest that she has toward him. I think she wants to find out more of who he is and his life story.
I have a feeling you'll shortly have cause to smile yourself.
Miss Hayward.
Colonel Lennox.
Charlotte, this is like the first time she danced ever since the last time she did with Sydney in season 1. She seemed comfortable and looked forward to, and even before this dance, Georgiana reminded her, like, let's just have fun and forget our past and look toward the future.
Miss Hayward, would you still do me the honour?
With the greatest of pleasure, sir.
You can see the jealousy start to appear more and more from Fraser. He looked over to them. He's like, man, I'm really losing my chance or what? It's a tough situation, and you will come to realize that he's a loyal guy and he's not gonna be disrespectful and come in between the two of them. You can see Georgiana is glancing at him, and then Arthur is glancing at him. Lockhart, of course, is glancing at them and witnessing a dance between Georgiana and Arthur. He did mention to Arthur, like, you have a great friendship with Georgiana. Like, I wish I had that, and, you know, it's easy for me to talk to her and be friends with her, but he is struggling. So in that moment, of course, he would want to wish that it was him dancing with Georgiana, not Arthur.
Given you profess to loathe the man, you do seem rather fascinated by him.
As do you, Arthur.
Georgiana keep looking at Leica, so I think she's having some increased interest in getting to know him. We'll see if that happens. Arthur likes him too as a friend. He sees something fun about him, and Georgiana hasn't seen what Arthur has seen in Lockhart.
I must apologize for the seating arrangements at dinner. If it weren't for convention, I would...
It's all right. I know my place as a lowly governess.
There's nothing lowly about you, Miss Hayward.
Overall, it's a nice comeback. He said to Charlotte, like, you're not a lowly person. Like, you're important as everyone else. Like, you have great knowledge, a great personality. You're a kind human being, and that's all that matters. And he doesn't, like, look at her in the wrong way for having a job. So maybe that's a good thing for Charlotte. But on the other hand, she's not interested in dating anyone at the moment. Just a quick moment of Fraser continue to look over to Allison and Harder dancing the night away. He is officially definitely jealous of what is growing in their relationship, and of course he wanted to be in Harder place and be dancing with Allison.
Do you remember the first time we danced together? The day my father married your mother. It took me an hour to find the courage to ask you.
I think this is the first time we learned that how they became step-siblings. So his father married her mother. I think this is the first time we hear this, right? So that's an interesting new information.
I was in awe of you then. I still am.
He's still in awe of her. Like, excuse me, like, she's married and she had a daughter but died in birth. Like, she's, like, deeply involved in the marriage with a different man, Lord Babington. Like, what the heck, Edward? This is not the time or place to say, like, you shouldn't be saying that or anything like that at all for the rest of your life. This is just so wrong, and by the look on Esther's face, she is done with him, she is over with him, she doesn't feel that feelings anymore like she did in season 1. She's a changed woman. On the other hand, Edward is trying to show that he's a different man, a better man, and he is failing at that. This is not good. Lady Denham should have keep him out of the house, out of Sanditon. But as an aunt, like, of course you want to forgive your nephew and give him a second chance because that, you know, aunt love that she had toward him. But if Lady Denham wants to protect her niece, Esther, yeah, she should have kicked Edward out. Like, she wouldn't even, like, let him be near her. But unfortunately, with the situation of the army settling down in Sanditon for a while, Lady Denham can't really do much. And of course, she doesn't want other people to talk and gossip, like, why Lady Denham not allowing her nephew back into the house when he's visiting Sanditon with his army group. So, yeah, this is a tough situation as well for Esther, and she's going through a lot too. She's recovering from that stillbirth that miscarriage, and also being away from her husband. That takes a lot of stress on her, and now trying to find a new way to get pregnant again and hopefully have a healthy baby.